Doesn't. Listen.
Open your mind and let me explain.
Welcome to the OnLiveFans.com podcast. I'm Sean, also known as Shadow1W2, with...
I'm Chris, forum name The Dracula.
And I'm Ryan. You guys know me as Nico Power on the forums.
Sweet. How's it going, guys?
Sweet.
I'm going alright.
First off, Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about what OnLive is and just kind of introduce our listeners if they really don't know what the service is all about?
For the most part, for those who don't know what OnLive is, basically it is a streaming service that will actually do all the work for you in whichever server center you are. It'll stream you video games, various ones, some of the newest, some of the classics, and you can play it on practically any computer. So if you don't have the most high up there PC and you don't feel like upgrading your system all the time, you don't have to. Basically, OnLive does it for you. They stream it to you, and you're playing games. You're playing PC games basically as if you were playing them at home.
Right. So essentially, it's almost like Netflix streaming for video games.
More or less, that's what it is.
So.
Cloud gaming.
And there's no monthly fee.
Sweet.
Yeah, with fairies, I'm told.
Yeah, definitely.
And as you guys know, we represent OnLiveFans.com. We're the official OnLiveFans podcast. And Nico, you've been with the website the longest. Can you tell us a little bit about the website and what it's all about?
Right. Well, basically, OnLiveFans, it is almost exactly as it sounds. We're fans of OnLive. This started back in April, I believe, of 2009, before even the beta came out, when they just announced it and it was, getting really big. Mm-hmm. The main administrator, his name is admin on the site, basically went out and they started it, and I don't know how exactly they got people to start getting on board. I was provided with the link through Facebook, had no idea what OnLive was. Which a lot of people actually, that's kind of how they come to the site. They hear about it and it goes from there. They type in OnLive and we actually pop up immediately under OnLive.
Yep.
We talk about everything OnLive does. What we're doing with OnLive, which games we're playing, and everything like that. It's just pretty much the biggest fan site that's out there right now. We have plenty of members, all different colors and fun and happiness and whatever. You come out and you just enjoy yourselves. It's like any other forum you've had, world. It's all, progressing along with OnLive. We have a very good relationship with them, and we're just going to constantly keep growing as OnLive grows.
Sweet. Yeah, that's kind of how I found out about the website too. I found out about OnLive and I wanted to, I guess, know more about what it was all about. I googled OnLive, and right, like what you said, like a couple searches underneath that was OnLiveFans. And I just kind of started messing around and started tinkering around on the website a little bit and just kind of reading. There's just a lot of good content, a lot of good forum members and stuff. And what I like about it is it seems like people are out to help each other. Whether it's like sharing tips on how to lower your latency, or just like sharing news on deals and stuff like that. It's just people are always out there to try to help each other out, which is excellent, I think. Yeah,
and that's a good thing about our site as well. Is not everybody has a Twitter account, or not everybody has whatever. Some way to actually follow OnLive. They come to our forums, and you'll see a lot of those sales that are listed, or the new games that come out, or something that's been added to the play pack. It's all, you'll read about it from us almost as immediate as it shows up on the service, or on their Twitter, or their websites, and everything like that. We're pretty active in that. So, we are, at the moment, we are pretty much the go-to source for anything that's really going on. You'll be reading it through our forums, and soon our new news page that we're working on as well.
Right.
Yeah. I started back in December myself. Started with OnLive, and I was actually just looking for for some forums and all, and I found it through a Google search like anyone else, and yeah, it's been pretty good. I've haven't really seen too much trouble over there.
No, we tend to lock it down pretty good. I mean, everyone comes out, they have a good time. If something, if somebody's like popping up, kind of being a bit unruly, usually it's taken care of and everything's happy. So,
how did you guys originally find out about OnLive itself? Like, how did you guys get involved with the actual service?
Same thing with, like I just said a few minutes ago. I knew nothing about OnLive. Got on the forums, read about it, instantly signed up for the beta, and went from there. And once I touched the beta, I was sold.
Yeah.
That was it. And I'm one who always likes to look forward, see what's coming, what's new in the industry, what's going to be kind of the future set, and that's OnLive.
Yeah, I was one of those that I read about it on the gaming blogs like Joystick and stuff, and it was funny. It just originally when all the news was coming out, it was almost like the Phantom. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was like the big vaporware. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it basically is what OnLive is right now, except it actually had a huge console, and that was like a huge debacle like within the video game industry. And at that time, I was like really excited about it because I was like, sounds awesome. This sounds amazing. Of course, nothing ever came of it, and it was just a huge scam.
I think it was last year they finally officially announced that it wasn't going to happen. And I'm like, I really didn't know that was happening.
I think they actually sold some of their lap boards is what ended up coming out of the whole thing. It was like where you can like this little peripheral, but I was kind of burned from the whole Phantom thing. So here comes OnLive, and I just assumed it was going to be kind of the same thing. And I read interviews from industry insiders and stuff, and they talked about there's no way this could happen. The latency, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And also back then they were talking about having the monthly fee with OnLive. It was going to I can't remember what it was going to be at $15-$20 a month, but I thought that was ridiculous. Just to even have the service, not even to play games. And so it was kind of an afterthought to me. And then I just kept hearing more and more news about it. And first off they dropped off the monthly fee, and then they had the beta testing and everything else. I just kept kind of reading about it, and eventually I was just like, I'm just gonna try it out. And and I finally was able to get in and start playing it. I was like, wow, this actually works really, really well. And I've never been a big PC gamer. I don't like to play with a keyboard and mouse. I much more prefer like a joystick and a controller. And it was just so simple. I plugged my Xbox 360, like USB controller in, and it just recognized everything. I didn't have to map anything. It was so simple. I plugged it in and just started playing, and it was a really cool experience. And I've been hooked ever since.
That's perfect for their title. Their taglines, "Just Play."
Yeah.
So, and there's a reason for that. It is the whole thing. People hate, people like Steam, but people hate Steam at the same time. The main reason for my problem with Steam, which is not a problem because as somebody who has played PC games in the past, patches are annoying. Downloading everything is the most annoying thing on the planet. Right. It's like, hey, I want to play this game. Sorry, there's a patch for 200 megabytes.
Yeah, and what's horrible is you buy a new game and you're like, okay, I'm going to like throw it in there, or even download like a new game, and it's only like maybe like 100, 500, whatever, how many megabytes or whatever, gigabytes. And you download the initial client, and you think you're going to be able to get into it, and then you see, like, oh, man, now I have to patch. It takes so long, especially if it's a game that's been out a long time. You have to download all of them, and it's just maddening.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it.
If the biggest culprits of that are, Battlefield Bad Company 2, that is terrible. And I sit there, I'm like, I'm ready to play this. Here's 1,500 patches. Enjoy. You can play this in a week. How about that? But still, nothing against Steam, though, because I still love Steam. Don't get me wrong on that.
Yeah, I have a ton of Steam games.
Yeah, me too, even though I can barely run half of them.
Yeah.
My laptop stinks.
Yeah.
I blame Vista, but it's horrible.
You're still on Vista.
Yeah, I just got lazy. I'm trying to move to 7, but it still works. Don't mess with it yet.
Yeah.
That's another great thing about OnLive is you don't have to continually upgrade your PC. If you're going to play on the PC, and that's the thing. I have like an older Dell XPS that when I bought it, it was like top of the line. It was a really good PC. But now, it's a few years old, and I can't play the top games. There's no way that for instance, like Homefront, if I were to try to play that on the PC, there's no way it would run it.
My laptop would explode.
Yeah, and yeah, that's if you want to play on a laptop, and you can't do that. And I don't care to sit there and pour money, every year or two into to upgrade my computer. I just don't care to do that anymore.
See, for me, like I upgrade. That's a thing. There's still some games that I'm gonna need to play locally,
right?
But my upgrading is like once every 3 years.
Right.
I'm not one of the ones where I've got to upgrade every time a new video card comes out, which is a new ADR, which is a new which is a new Radeon, which is a new GeForce, which is
those.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know people who are like, oh, $400 on a new card I'll be replacing in 3 months. And it's just like,
jeez,
why?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to with OnLive as long as you have a decent, as long as you're running at least, say maybe 7-10 megabytes.
I've heard it has to be a minimum of 3 megabits per second, but then they recommend 6.
Yeah, but honestly, you can run it pretty well with 5, as long as nobody's like BitTorrenting or anything like that. Right. As long as you're running it with 5, you're still gonna get pretty good graphics. You're not gonna get like your perfect 720p, but if you go up to 7. Maybe 7 megabytes, 8 megabytes. That's when you start noticing that this really is like perfect PC quality. Yeah. And of course, the higher you go, the better it looks. Blah blah blah. But there is a limit to where it's just not going to look any better than, this megabytes to this megabytes. You're going to hit the top, and the top looks really nice. Yeah,
when you get the best resolution you get, like on the micro console, that one does the best for me right now. Mm-hmm. And if you look real closely, you can still see the little bit of the fuzzy compression rate or something. You have to look really close, but when you're sitting back on your couch and you're playing your game, you're not really going to notice that little edge. Yeah. In most home consoles, you're going to be able to see the little edges here and there.
Yeah, but that's just poor anti-aliasing.
Yeah.
So, how did you end up here? How did you end up with OnLive?
I actually, I've heard about it a long time ago, and I was curious about it. When I heard the Phantom, though, I was completely against the idea. Of course, I had a 56K modem, so and I was stuck on that for a long time.
Right.
I even tried to, I tried to do something with it, though you weren't supposed to. I run with Wi-Fi and the Wii or something, but anyway, getting back to the point, I actually started in December, like I said, and what brought me to it was actually the Humble Indie Bundle 2.
Oh yeah.
That they're doing. Actually, for people who are listening, there's actually 2 days left at humblebundle.com. They're doing the Trine one, or Frozen Byte, which includes Trine. And there's 2 days left to get that. You can pay whatever you want. It's nice. It goes to charity. Mm-hmm. Really great stuff. But I saw that that OnLive made a donation, and they gave them a bunch of OnLive keys. So I thought, okay, I can get the game I just paid for of what was it? Braid, I think, was the one I knew about. Right. So I just thought, heck, I'll try it. I've got a free game here. Might as well see if it works. I was completely skeptical. I thought, no way. But it's pretty good. People are gonna watch me play, which is weird. But
yeah.
But it worked out, and then I think later on they offered the World of Goo OnLive key, and since then I've just been waiting for the deals and having fun.
Yeah, and with OnLive, when it comes to the Humble Bundle, they donated $1,500 to I believe it. I assume it's more probably charity, and what's neat about your donations to that is you can split it up however you want. You can say, I want it all to go to charity, I want it to go to developers, I want it to do this or do that. And it's whatever you choose. And what's neat about it is it's all DRM free.